give you one more night to get this. We've had a million nights just like
Good
this.
afternoon,
So
everybody.
let's get
Hope all
down
is
to
well with
business.
you. This is Blair Armstrong with Team Armstrong, located in beautiful Indian Wells, California. I have our guest has been not back apart for a little bit. We have Sean LaRue from Franklin Loan Center. He has got some great information for us today. But for those who have been following us on our little podcast, you noticed obviously we have multiple different channels. So I kind of want to hit this up a little bit. So if you're seeing this today, this is strictly our Team Armstrong channel, our channel. And so if you're going to look for anything real estate, it's going to be on here. We'll have a Sean and Blair episode once in a while. That's basically to be talking about mortgages and real estate and how they're combining, especially in this crazy world that we have going on in the real estate world. But so when you see a Sean and Blair, there'll be strictly about mortgages and real estate. You'll have the millennial moment, which will be David and I. But anything through the Team Armstrong channel is going to be based on real estate. For those who've been following us lately with Old Guys Still Rock, that is a completely different YouTube channel, and we appreciate all the follows there. So if you are looking for information about real estate, mortgages, and millennials and community, it's going to be right here. So I just ask you right now to love us, like us, hate us, whatever it's going to be. But anyway, definitely share, leave comments in there, what you like, what you didn't like. But most of all, subscribe. So when we do put out new episodes, it's going directly to you, and we can go from there. Besides that, it is hotter than Hades here today, so excuse me. We reached 104 and it was just like 85 yesterday. But anyway, Sean LaRue, my man, how are you, my dude? It's been a bit.
Hey, Blair. What's up? Hey, man, that Old Guys Still Rock. I love it. It's a great podcast. I think I'm over the hill now, and so I think
you are with us, my dude.
I think I qualify for that now, even though I'm a kid at heart. But great tips. Sometimes we're grinding it out right now and doing what we have to do to set up the future success of our business. And it's not necessarily what we do today. We see the fruit and the benefits of, all the seeds we plant today in 90 days. So we got to remember that. But I have some awesome information and some uplifting stuff, a way to kind of frame what I've been talking about, what we've been talking about in the market. And I was just thinking about this. I mean, I don't know that you're going to find any one deal right now just on the property, okay? But the deals are made in the changes of markets, okay? And if you can exploit a future change in the market, and that's what we're going to be talking about, what can you do in today's market, which would be to lock in a price to get better terms for something in the future? And we're going to kind of break down the numbers of why it would make sense to buy now instead of waiting for interest rates to come down, maybe 6 months, or if they come down a year. I'm going to show you guys, the possible opportunity costs on that.
I love that. So two real quick for those of you just joining us who have not seen this episode before. This again is Sean LaRue from Franklin Loan Center. They are local here in the desert. And that's why I said if you're going to buy here in the desert, we'll go a little bit. I got one step further than this, but if you're going to buy here in the desert, we really love Franklin Loan Center for the reason that they have their thumb on the pulse here. The great thing about why we love Sean LaRue so much is that he's licensed in multiple states. So if you're in Oregon, if you're in Washington, if you're in California, if you're in Arizona, 14 states now? Is that right?
I think it's up to 17 states.
17
we got Nebraska,
states.
Florida, Texas. It's getting a little ridiculous. If you need a loan, let me know. I'll either be able to help you or I'll point you in the right direction.
Right direction. Yeah. So almost a third of the United States? Is that fair to say?
I think it's exactly 25%, but
okay, 25%. So, but that's why we like him, because there's knowledgeable in every different states, and so even if you're coming from a different state, maybe with a 1031 exchange or some sort of different situation, or even a buying and selling, he can help in that area. So
or
we are
through
trying.
private financing. We
Yep.
can do umbrella deeds. There's always a
Yeah.
creative way of getting it done, and that's kind of what I'm known for. Getting creative, trying to figure it out, saying yes when other companies are saying no. Really good at doing Wells Fargo, Bank of America, and Chase turndowns as usual.
Okay.
Just because we're a direct mortgage bank and we can work with everybody directly, and we can underwrite and draw our own docs in house.
So good. And there's a reason why those rewards are sitting behind you, right?
Yeah,
A little
yeah.
bit.
Those are the
Just a
older
couple
ones. I got the fresher ones up here.
fresher ones in the front so I can stare at them.
Yeah.
All right, man. So what do you got for us today, brother? Lots of changes in the real estate market, a lot of
So
states in the loan market. So what do you got? Or what do you have? Excuse me.
So somebody that I follow, and we get daily and intradaily loan alerts. What we've got going on are these slides, and it's just a little snippet of what I've learned from Barry Habib and the MBS Highway. He's been a longtime informer and educator on the market and mortgage-backed securities, giving us daily updates on lock, float, um, advice on where the market's going and helping us understand and interpret what's going on for you guys. So,
Okay.
yesterday, let's just start off with yesterday. Yesterday, we're kind of on this roller coaster, right? Obviously.
Absolutely.
But I think what yesterday's news is that we're not raising the Fed funds rate another quarter. They stalled it
Okay.
out, right?
Right.
Did you see that?
We did see that
So
yesterday.
finally, I mean, I think last meeting they raised it when we didn't think they were going to. Okay. So I think we're at the point in the market. No, I'm not predicting anything, obviously, but from what
Right.
I feel and what we've been looking forward to, this could trigger the market, inflation slowing down, consumer spending maybe getting back in normal
Mm-hmm.
ranges. But what I want to show you guys is exploiting changes in markets can be the opportunity, and it can be the best deal for you guys.
Okay.
So, Blair, are you still seeing multiple offers? Are
We
you
are
still
starting the right. Yeah,
seeing?
you know what? If you have the right property right now, we are seeing 3 to 6 offers kind of per deal.
Yeah,
It's really kind of too is everyone has a different median price. So since this podcast will go over multiple states and actually different countries, what we are seeing here in the desert, though, Sean, is that the big boys right now, the kind of 2.5 million above, are starting to see the 3 to 4 or 5 offers a
yeah,
deal.
yeah.
And so we see
Well,
that now.
and
We
that's a whole
also
nother jumbo market banking thing. I
right,
think they're trying to liquidate their assets and put it in hard assets and
but
stuff like that. That's a whole nother conversation, right?
right,
But
but let's go down to this medium market, which we're going to basically be talking about, right?
so
So
we're just
that
kind of
medium,
trying to throw out some general numbers to wrap our head around what's happening right now, right?
perfect, perfect,
Okay. And so we know that if you have a well-priced home, because sellers and agents are both kind of meeting up now after it's been what, 18 months, 2 years since we've
mm-hmm.
really seen let's put it on the market, and then the next day let's raise the price 10, 20%. I
Mm-hmm.
think we're coming on the market at better prices, more realistic. When properties are coming on the market a little bit lower, even, we're definitely seeing multiple bids and that price going over ask price. You guys
Right,
all know the what the market holds and what the values are out there on the properties. We're all our best appraisers because we're watching the market. And if you're trying to buy, you know exactly what is a
right,
good buy and what's not in this condition, and that one doesn't have a pool. You know it. So,
right,
point is, I even learned this recently on my own deal. I was trying to steal it, and you just can't really steal it right now when
nope,
it's priced right. You're not
right,
going to get a 10% discount. So what's happening? Bid over asking price to get your deal accepted. Let's
okay,
say the current value is only $550,000.
okay,
Okay. You're going to have to go over list price in order to get it. But
okay,
now you're competing with a couple of other buyers. So in order to get it, steal it, wrap it up, you're going to offer $600,000 on a 580 property.
okay,
Okay. That's to compete. That's to lock it up. That's to even get a shot of buying it. Okay. Right? Because you got to get through this step. You got to be willing to do all of this in order to get to the next step. Okay. And this is just to get you guys to the table. So what are you missing out? What's the cost of waiting? That's what we're trying to figure out. What is the cost of waiting? So in this case, we can actually see that we can break even in 8 months, only 2.5% over bid value. Okay.
Okay.
So in a 1 year forecasted appreciation, let's just assume appreciation is going to be very moderate at 2.95%.
Mm-hmm.
So you're bidding 2.5% over value. You're going to break even on that $20,000 appreciation. What you bid over list price is going to be paid back in 8 months. Less than a year, you're already looking good. Okay. Now, obviously,
That makes
this
sense.
isn't
Okay.
for this is for first time buyers. This is for move up buyers. This is for people who need to expand, contract. This is for somebody who needs a property. This isn't for the fix and flip. This isn't for a rental. Okay. This is
Right.
very specific for either second home or somebody who needs housing. Okay.
Okay.
Over a 5 year forecast for appreciation on a very moderate 4.15% per year. Over the next 5 years, your property will have appreciated $131,925,000. Okay, that's
Okay.
4% over the next 5 years. Okay,
Okay.
now flip me to the next slide.
Okay.
So that's the opportunity cost of waiting today. Let's just say you don't do anything, and in the next 5 years, you would have missed out on $130,000 of appreciation. So if rates are coming down, why should you wait to buy, or does it make sense to buy right now? And that's why for the last 18 months we've been saying marry the house and date the rate,
Right.
because these
Right.
rates are going to be temporary. The houses you can buy are temporary, and you got to, if you're in the market to buy something, buy a house that you like, and then we can worry about the rate later. And that's what I'm talking about in exploiting the market to get that deal. Lock in the price now, and then let's look at refinancing it later. And so this slide kind of perfectly talks about what's going on. And they're using this example in Florida. I think we could type in Palm
Mm-hmm.
Desert and
Mm-hmm.
it could easily translate. But um, here's what we're looking at. And 6.5 rate, we're just using that as a model. This is all theory. All these rates are close, and we're within. We can either buy it down or do whatever. But
Right.
just trying to give you guys kind of a barometer of what we're looking at. Let's say you're
Okay.
buying $1 million house today. So your loan today, you're getting a 30-year fixed at 6.5%. Okay. Property value is worth $1 million. You're putting $200,000 down. You're getting a loan amount of $800,000. Okay, 6.5%. APRs, whatever.
Right.
Okay. If you wait 6 months, okay, you're waiting for the interest rate to go down, right?
Right.
Well, now your property is worth 1.02
Mm-hmm.
million. Your down payment, you're gonna have a higher loan amount, $16,500 more on a loan amount, and you're gonna have to come in with $4,000 more down.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, you're getting the 5.5% interest rate, but look at that. You're paying 2% more. What is it? Yeah, 2.06%. They're doing the math for me right there.
Right.
2.06 higher. Okay. That's only in 6 months. And these are, I mean, these aren't real numbers. Obviously, these are hypothetical, but this
Sure.
is basic economics and what's going to happen and what we saw happen during um, during during COVID and the last boom, because interest rates were so low, people could afford to pay more. So after waiting a year now, you're paying 2.9%, 2.95% more. You're paying $1,030,000. You're getting a loan amount for $24,000 more. You're putting down
Mm.
$6,000 more. But yes, your interest rate is 1% lower. Okay.
Realistically, what you're saying in so many different words, we're going to go to another slide here in a little bit, but I could go ahead and marry 6.5 right now and say, let's go down to 5%. And I'm going to play devil's advocate too, real quick too. But say it goes down to 5.5%. Well, I'll just refinance at that time and get a lower rate, right? Okay. Well, let's play devil's advocate. Let's play, okay, it's at 6.5%. I could go ahead and do this, and I wait and I wait and I wait, but all of a sudden rates go up to 9%. Now where are we? Right now you look like a hero.
Rates are higher, and
right?
prices
Now I look like a hero at 6.5. Right?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, there's both sides of the fence. It is, and that's where the fear of the media has put into is like the market's going to crash, or wait to this, or wait to see what happens in the election.
Oh, rates are too high. Before prices were too high, they just pick a different thing and just point it out.
Just find something else, right? But that's what it says. The problem, you could always wait for something, but at the end of the day is what Sean's showing you right here is, okay, let's just say the rates go down and the election helps, or whatever helps or doesn't help, whatever. But now you're paying an extra 2% down, and you're paying, you lost 3%. So take advantage of the market regardless of it. I understand that sometimes they might sneak up to 7, they might sneak down to sneak down. Find it if you can afford it, purchase it now, and let's manipulate it later. Not actually, that's a wrong word. Manipulate. But it is say it is just to refinance or just hold steady for a while, because sooner or later, right?
In the shift, yeah. And look, if you want to wait 6 months and save, I think the next slide even does this math for you. You're going to save $420 a month in payment for 6 months. Okay, you're going to save $2,500 by waiting for 6 months. So this loss of appreciation, yeah, look, it does it right here. Cost of waiting analysis. Mm-hmm. This is why I love it so much, because it was literally step by step what I've been trying to say.
Right.
The payment difference is $421 a month for 6 months waiting. If you wait a year, you lose $380 a month, whatever. Here's your loss in total property appreciation. That's what you lost by waiting, because you're going to pay more. And then your amortization loss, this is the amount that you're not paying down your loan amount because you're paying rent, right?
Yeah.
Here's your total opportunity cost of $5,000 in just 6 months versus your cost to refi, payment difference. So your total cost to wait just costs you $20,000. You also don't have the asset. You threw your money away. You're not getting the mortgage interest deduction. And when rates go down, you're not locked in at that price, right? So if you wait a year, per month payment, yeah, maybe your payment's a little bit lower, but you're at negative $380 a month. You're losing $29,500 in property appreciation, and you're not paying down $9,000 on your loan amount. The cost to refi is either free or $3,000. The payment difference in that time, versus buying now or waiting a year, you're looking at $4,600. Guys, we got to look at the big picture here, and time flies. Time absolutely flies, right?
Absolutely.
So it's going to be that 5-year mark before you guys even realize it.
I think that's a big thing. Again, Sean, it's not to beat a dead horse, but I think it needs to be repeated multiple times as well. But it is, if you can afford to purchase right now, if the stars, if you have the right job, if you can afford to buy the house, and maybe it's not buying as big as house as you wanted to 3 years ago, but you can afford to purchase a home now, I would do it now, because at least you know what you're getting now, right?
Yeah.
And we don't know what you're going to get tomorrow. You don't know what you're going to do. It's you said it earlier.
But that's what's happening with the rent arbitrage and everything now, because rents change over time. Yeah. Your property costs are the same. And then let's say you want to do it again. Make that a rental, put 5% down, go buy another one, go live in that one for a year. Just keep moving up. And over time, those rents will continue to go up, cover your mortgage. I mean, it's monopoly.
It's monopoly. Now we would say this, because you said date the rate, marry the house, right?
Yeah, right? Marry the house, date the rate.
So let's go ahead and then use this scenario that sounds really good in my head. So if it comes out weird, it's fine, but whatever. If you keep dating the girl for a long time, sooner or later, she's going to go find somebody else to get married to, right? Same thing with a girl. If you keep dating a guy long enough and you guys don't get married, he's going to find somebody else into it, and you miss out on potentially a great relationship. So
Yeah.
going back to using that analogy, but going back to this rate is date the rate, but eventually, marry the house because that's where your asset is. So don't sit there and keep procrastinating and keep listening to like, hey, if I wait till tomorrow, or rates are going to go up or rates are going to go down, and you're going to play what somebody else is going to say is
I mean,
what
if you think
makes,
rates are too high, you're going to say the values are too high. If the values are too high, rates are too low.
yeah,
You're going to always find an excuse to walk away. I don't like it because it's
yeah,
rainy today, or I'm just going to stay here because I'm going to make get back at my landlord. No, you're making your landlord's dreams come true.
absolutely.
So you're
And
not
a lot
getting
of
back at
the,
anybody. You got to pull the trigger.
yeah, and those rates on those rentals are starting to come due too, and a lot of those guys are adjustable. So if you're renting right now, don't be surprised if your rent goes up significantly over the next couple of months.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting. We'll talk offline on
Super.
another thing. There's something else I learned recently that's very interesting about rents and how everything's reported. So
Yeah, it's guys. Again, this is not a tactic to make you go out and buy a house tomorrow. This is saying let's just be aware. Let's put the nuts and bolts of this. We're not getting paid by anybody to tell you to do something. We're giving you information to let you make the best decision. If it's not the right
hopefully
time
this
for,
is just a resource to
right,
help explain
yeah,
what I think a lot of people are out there talking about right now. But it's difficult to see, and why I was saying, the deal is in exploiting the differences in the market.
yep,
As soon as those rates go down, the values I guarantee you are going to go back up. Um, I mean, more people are going to come to the market. I think people are a little put off a little bit by the spread and maybe those lower interest rates and where they're at right now. But as soon as we get some traction there and rates come down a bit, I think we're going to have a lot more inventory and people are going to be willing to pull the trigger and make their moves and do their thing. So it's exciting.
yeah, yeah. I agree with you. There's a lot of opportunity right now. And the bottom line, if it's not your time, it's not your time. But somebody else is going to buy those houses. So if you haven't started the process right
Somebody
now, it
definitely
actually
is. Yeah.
that's somebody's going to buy it. And there's a lot of investors out there right now. They're going to buy that home right now because there's a lot of cash rich in there. So, and we're falling less and less and less inventory that's out there because everyone's comfortable with their couple rates that they had a couple years ago. So
Exactly.
what I'm suggesting for you, for those who follow me and for those who follow Sean, if you have been thinking about buying a house right now, just reach out to him and at least get pre-approved or find out where you stand. Maybe you're a year away. Maybe there's some things you have to clean up in your credit. Maybe there's some things that you have to clean up to go ahead and get a right loan. But at least look at your options, and I would start looking at it because there are some great opportunities to purchase real estate. Stop paying somebody else's mortgage. They love you for it. So my property managers, my property owners that we represent, nothing against you, but there's always will be a renter. We're just saying is if this is your opportunity to purchase a home now, I would highly suggest that you do it now, sooner than later, because let's go back to this, Sean. Those rates do drop. This is some miracle. Let's just say it's fictitious. They go down to 4.25 in the next year,
Yeah.
just random. Guess who's going to be buying houses all of a sudden? And guess what's going to happen to house prices? We go the
Yeah.
same thing that just happened a year ago. Prices are going to go through the roof because it's now we got 5, 6, 7, buyers per property, and we could have won. Right now, there's not a lot of competition. There's competition, but there's not a lot. But as soon as those rates start hovering down 5%, maybe someday, or 4.25, the
Yeah.
housing market's going to explode again. And you're like, God, I could have got that house last year for $100,000 less. Well, what happened? And this is
Well,
not a
here I
come to
like I
Jesus,
like that
but
you put it there. So that $1 million house,
yeah,
okay? Put that slide back up there. That $1 million house. If you buy that $1 million house now and you're locking in your price now, okay? At a 6.5% rate, you're paying $5,056 a month. Okay?
mm-hmm.
Call it 550. When those rates go down to 4.25, let's say, Now you're saving $1,025 a month on the same money. Okay, what's that property you think going to be worth when that rate goes down to 4.25?
It's going to explode.
It's going to be like 2.5, right? 1.25. It's not going to be 2.5, but 1.25. It could easily go up a quarter of a mil, like we saw, 200, $100 to $200,000. And that's the velocity of money, and that's what I want to point out. And that's why we're saying marry the house, get your asset, lock in the price, and then through the change in markets and lower rates, we can save you more money. On another note, if you know of anybody who needs to do debt consolidation and we can free up some capital every month in their budgets, we're still seeing a lot of people with huge payments, still sitting on equity. Look, that 3%, that 3.25 is not doing much for you. If you have more than $10,000 in debt and or a car payment and you've owned your home for more than 5 years, let me know and maybe I can help you out, save you $600, $800 a month in payment and make your life a little bit better.
A lot of golden nuggets in here today, Sean, man. A lot of golden nuggets. And again, guys, even if it just start with a $200,000 home, a $300,000 home, or $400,000 home, it's a lot better than the guy that's not buying it or the lady that's not buying it right now. So check out Sean. If Sean's not your guy, and once in a while, if I'm not your guy, we sell real estate. We would love to have you as a client. We would love to help you through the process. But if you have someone that's closer, or maybe it's a family member, or a cousin, or whatever it's going to be, a brother or sister, definitely reach out to them right now and have some serious conversations, guys, because there's some funny things happening, and I think that there's going to be some really, really good opportunities. Again, even if you're at 6.5%, 7.5% right now, it's still going to be a lot better. To case of the worst case scenario, you will see scenarios that rates go up to 11%. You're going to look like a hero at 6.5%. If you go again, playing that scenario, as Sean just said, you go ahead and get locked in at 6.5%, and the rates go down to 4.5%, refinance. You still win. You have equity. You got a house. You save your money on taxes. I know there's a lot of different scenarios, but there's some good opportunity right now. I would just say stop waiting. Stop listening to stop listening to the media saying this and that, because we've been hearing about it for the last 8 months and still nothing has really, really happened. And we got to start good. Yeah, really is what's changed. Maybe it's a couple percentage points, but we got up to 7.5. Now we're down to 6.5. Sometimes whatever.
Now the Fed decided that they're not going to continue raising rates. Now we can be okay thinking, oh, now the market's going to recover. Well, guys, the government said it's okay. Let's go. Let's go.
And too, right? Here's the thing too, that a lot of people don't understand is most of these mortgages are federally backed, right?
Most of what we're talking about is Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, conventional loans. Yeah.
So what happens when you go ahead and pay your interest on those things? Who's getting the money? And when people stop buying houses, who's not getting the money? Right.
Right.
So, it's whatever. That's a whole different thing to it. So guys, we just really appreciate you. There was a lot of golden nuggets in here today. I suggest if you watched this the first time or kind of glossed over it, go back and listen to this. Sean and I are super easy to get a hold of. Sean, which way can we follow you? Which way can we reach out to you?
You can follow me on Instagram at Sean LaRue Home Loans. Or you can reach out on by text at 760-835-5663.
Okay. Super simple. This will be obviously on our YouTube channel. That's at Team Armstrong. You can go ahead and look us up. Sean is actually one of our valued partners on our website at teamarmstrong.com. So if you go down and look at partners in there, Sean LaRue's link to him is directly on there. So you feel free to click on that and directly email him right there. If you have any questions about real estate, we are, again, located in the Coachella Valley. If you are outside of the Coachella Valley, we have resources and references all across the United States, so feel free to reach out to us. But use us as your resource, or find somebody that you know, like, and trust, and do that part. Again, we're going to really, really get on this. Stop waiting and make a decision one way or another. And if it's a decision not to buy right now, that's fine. But if it's a decision to buy right now, hurry up and do it. And if you can afford to do it now, because a lot of things are changing for the future. So, brother, it was so good seeing you again.
So great to see you. Always love catching up, man.
You know, we have to get together
Hey,
sooner
it's
or later.
Chrissy's birthday. You gotta go.
It is Chrissy's birthday, right? We're going to Mezzamundo's tonight in Coachella.
Ooh,
or actually, have
yeah.
you been there yet?
No, I haven't.
Okay, Mezzamundo's, guys. Okay, this is a little plug for this, guys. So Mezzamundo's, if you see this one's for you. So Mezzamundo's is just off Highway 111, like around San Luis Rey. Okay?
Okay.
It's right next to the 7-Eleven and 708. You would pass it a million times and never know it's right there.
Probably
anyway, these guys are true Italians. They can barely speak any English when you call on the phone, so you kind of have to get through it. But it's probably one of the best Italian. I would say it's in the top 3 Italian restaurants in the desert here. So,
love it.
With that being said, that's where we're going to go celebrate tonight. She's still younger than me, go believe it or not. So I feel like I'm robbing the cradle, even though it's only a year right now.
That's
but
good.
Anyway,
well,
you doing good, man? Your family's good?
Life is good. Everything's kind of quieting down and getting situated. So yeah,
got some big announcements coming up in the future. Can't wait to talk about those either. So
I'm excited about it as well.
All right, man. I'm going to get this out to it here. We get to get this play. There we go. So we're going to leave with this little music on here. Guys, we really appreciate you. If you need to get a hold of us, again, teamarmstrong.com is the easiest way to get a hold of us. If you have to get a hold of Sean LaRue, all this will be posted. He will be tagged, so go ahead and reach out to him on those channels. Until then, stay safe, and most of all, guys, God bless and talk to you soon. Take care. Tell all of your friends to be here.